one of the Donald's earliest endorsers and a political game changer in her own right, Governor Sarah Palin, the first female to appear on the Republican presidential ticket, is here to weigh in. And Governor Palin, in my opinion, without some of the groundwork you put in, there probably would be no Donald Trump. So is he on the comeback trail?
Well, thank you for that, I think, compliment. Good, bad, or ugly. There was always a curiosity factor if I were to be involved in a campaign. So that helped, perhaps. But, Dan, without question, the vast majority of the electorate over here in the U.S., we're sick and tired already of the Brandon administration, for which is fondly known now, not Biden, but Brandon. People are realizing that this fundamental transformation of America that had been promised is happening. And you only fundamentally transform something for which you have disdain. They are blatant, they are open about what the agenda is, and that is to really stick it to Main Street, to stick it to the little guy, the regular, hardworking, independent, patriotic American. All of their policies, Dan, all of them represent that. And no, there will be some kind of catalyst that will really spark the elector's just the enthusiasm to get out there and vote these guys out.
But Governor Palin, is he all there mentally? Because he fell asleep at COP26. He doesn't seem to know which way to walk into the White House. He struggles to read off an auto cue. I mean, is Biden all there mentally? We have to ask this question, don't we?
Well, yes, but, separate the mental and the physical weaknesses of our president and just consider his policies alone. They really represent his unseriousness and they represent incompetency. And, it's a scary thing for our country right now. So, no, just his policies alone. I have referred to this, and in the campaign I referred to it because sincerely I believe it. It's elder abuse. They shove him out there, expecting him in front of a teleprompter, which he doesn't read, in front of reporters, which you dare not ask him challenging questions. No. And unfortunately, he does not succeed. I don't know the last time that he has succeeded in positively messaging what it is that is needed here in America. So, no, a lot of failure.
But then Kamala Harris is widely being regarded as a failed vice president too.
Yeah, it's the whole ball of wax. Yes, yes. But again, their policies, everything is quite transparent. And as I travel around the country, I hear everyone asking, oh my goodness, are we going to be able to hang in there for another 3 years with Kamala and with Biden and
well, look at Afghanistan. Look at Afghanistan. I mean, for the world as well, Governor Palin, this is very damaging what's going on.
Well, it is. Other worldwide issues that America has within its control, our administration's control, take national security as it applies to energy sources. There's an inherent link between energy and security and energy and prosperity in any nation. Now, the U.S. was finally a net exporter of energy sources under Trump. One of the very first things that Biden did was reverse that. Ultimately, that makes the world less safe because we rely then on countries without environmental controls.
Yeah, well, exactly, like Russia, of course. Would you have made a better VP than Kamala Harris?
Oh, yeah, no question.
I agree. I agree. Look, I want to go back a little bit with you, Governor Palin, because there's a bit of a reevaluation happening about the way that you were treated by the mainstream media when you were running. And I want to play you a fascinating interview with Meghan McCain. Meghan is, of course, the daughter of John McCain. You were the running mate of her father. She was very tough on you after the election, but she's changed her mind. Your reaction to that, Governor Palin? It was quite a statement.
Well, I have to admit that I I really appreciate that. I appreciate her recognition of, yeah, there was unfairness, but it wasn't about me. I think it is the attacks on me were about what I represent, because I represent a typical hardworking, independent, patriotic American woman who does not want government on my back. I want it on my side. I do not want faceless, nameless bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. and politicians who think they know better to tell me how to run my businesses, how to raise my children, how to educate my children.
No, of course.
So,
of course,
but he did attack.
But you weren't even invited to John McCain's funeral. I mean, it was extraordinary how they treated you.
Well, that was hurtful, and it was shocking. But one of the last conversations I had with Senator McCain, and we kept in touch, he again apologized for those who ran the campaign, Nicole Wallace, Steve Schmidt. They're not good characters, you know, as evidenced by what it is that they unfairly do to others. But, you know, we're taught in God's word, in the Bible, that we are not to take upon ourselves as a burden to vindicate ourselves, that in due time, there's a season for everything. In due time, truth will prevail, truth will be revealed. And I think more of that will come out, because here's the deal. What disappointed me was there was no, there was invalidation for not only what I represent, but my job as a governor, as a mayor, as a city manager, as an oil and gas commissioner, as a sports reporter, all these things that I'm worked very, very hard to do.
Yeah, but you weren't part of the political establishment. And they don't like it if you're not part of the political establishment. And I think that's what Trump changed. But that's why I think you helped lay the groundwork for that sea change. Speaking of karma, Governor Palin, I want to ask you about a bloke called Martin Bashir. He had to resign from MSNBC over despicable comments he made about you, saying when Mrs. Palin invokes slavery, she doesn't just prove her rank ignorance. She confirms if anyone truly qualified for a dose of discipline from Thomas Thistlewood, she would be the outstanding candidate. Now, do you know that man who said that about you returned to the UK and was given a job by the BBC, our national broadcaster? He has since been forced to resign after it was exposed that he treated Princess Diana and Princess Diana's brother in a pretty appalling manner when he was securing that Panorama interview, that very famous Panorama interview back in 1995. Just wondered what you wanted to have to say about Martin Bashir.
Martin gives journalists in general a real bad name, you know, because if people believe that he represents what journalism is today, then it is no wonder that, you know, journalists have about as much credibility in the public's eye as a politician does. But, you know, much worse had been said about that. And I can take it. Don't like it when it's said about my family, that's for sure. I mean, that's when the mama bear rises up, as any mother would protect her cubs. But yeah, I mean, there's athletes. Mike Tyson, he was such a jerk. He was sexist. He was gross. The things that he said on the air about me. And he wasn't. I mean, he's still Mike Tyson to so many people. That just one example. But again, other people have had it a lot worse, because I'm of the belief that sticks and stones are going to break my bones, and words, they're not going to hurt me. Ultimately, they won't hurt me. Yeah, but it was just accepted because you were a conservative woman, and I think that's what's so terrible about it. I want to ask you finally, Governor Palin, about a couple of folk who we've exported your way. Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan. Now, Harry has claimed in the past 24 hours that he predicted the so-called insurrection at the US Capitol on the 6th of January. What do you make of that claim, and what do you make of this couple? Wow. I wonder where he pulled that out of. I mean, that's a strange one. I haven't heard anybody claim that they are so prophetic and providential as to be able to predict that. But you know, I don't like people airing dirty laundry about their family in public. I mean, there's enough attacks on the family unit today. And I just have a sense that they're capitalizing a bit on being able to at least insinuate some negativity amongst the family members. And personally, I don't like that. And I have to believe that most viewers and listeners don't like that either.
No, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Governor Palin, so great to catch up with you. We'll speak again very soon. Thank you so much.